Leaders, this message is for you. Whether you're a leader of a corporation or where you're managing teams of managers, or you are a leader of a church or a nonprofit or a ministry or a trade group where you're handling and managing mostly volunteers. Here's a question for you. When was the last time you had an honest dialogue with your team? Now, here's what honest dialogue is not. It's not a strategic planning session. It is not a goal setting session. It's not a brainstorming session. It's not, it's not anything that's really necessarily work related. It's an honesty session. So the question that you would ask is, how are you doing? Really? How are you doing in your department? How are you doing personally? Are there any challenges that you're facing right now? Now, let me just say this. Many leaders are not equipped to have this type of meeting. And the reason is, many leaders are very defensive. And if you were to ask an honest question of your team, and they were to give you an honest answer, you may find that some of the issues, or maybe most of the issues, really pertains to you and how you lead. I remember the first time I had a session like this. We were 3 years into our business and we were poised to grow, but we just weren't growing. So we brought in a consultant. So I thought I'd be part of the meeting. And the first thing she said to us was, you guys will not be part of this meeting. I need to have honest dialogue with your team. As a leader, I was instantly worried and nervous as to what was going to be said. And I wanted to be able to defend myself. But it was the right decision. And after that meeting, we were told many things that we needed to improve as leaders. I, for one, was told that I delegated a lot but did not follow up with supervision. So I was giving stuff out, but I wasn't really following up. So I had to go and take some personal development classes and strengthen my skills in this area and other things that I had to work on. But after that meeting and after making those changes, our company blew up. So the issue there was the lack of the proper leadership skills for that level. You see, a leader, and we've heard this before, a leader is the lid on your organization. So the organization is not going to grow beyond your leadership level. Now, we've also had the opportunity of going into companies and performing these exercises for leaders. And I think it's the best way to do it. You as a leader can choose to be in the room, although I advise against it. But if you are the type of leader who can listen and not get defensive, that's fine. You'll hear firsthand what your team is saying. But for the most part, team members will feel inhibited, even volunteers will feel inhibited from saying what their needs are, what their challenges are if you're there. So when I've conducted these meetings, the issues have ranged from not knowing what the mission of the organization really is, lack of resources for their departments, lack of training, and a big issue that I've seen when I have these team meetings, these consultancy type exercise, I've seen where there is a lack of cohesiveness among the members of the team. So everyone tends to be in silos, and when we have this open discussion, they will actually complain about the other department, and usually it's the first time the department is actually hearing that there's an issue. So there could be a lack of cohesiveness around the team, and those don't come out in strategic planning meetings, because many times when we're having leadership meetings, we're having a top-down conversation. A lot of times the leader is presenting the vision or the mission or whatever, and there's not much feedback coming up this way. So if you haven't had one of these honest, what I call come to Jesus moment meetings, you may want to consider that. Again, if you're a nonprofit, you may want to bring someone in to talk to your team of volunteers and staff. If you are a church, you may want to bring someone in to talk to your volunteers and your staff. Corporations, the same thing. Talk to your managers and get to the heart of what their challenges are at this time, and just ask for honest dialogue. And then be prepared as a leader to make those changes, because you could be the lid on your organization, and of course that's not what you want. So drop me a comment or your feedback on this. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this topic. Take care.